Greetings, Vault Hunters all across the 6 galaxies. Welcome to the Bordercast. We are live at our usual time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. I'm Mitsu.
And I'm Tessica, coming to you every week to break down all things Borderlands.
As always, we want to take a minute to thank all of our new listeners on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, and those watching live right now on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Steam, or later on the VOD on YouTube. If you are enjoying the program, we would love for you to give us a big ol' like, follow, or favorite, since we're your top Borderlands live news program. You know, I'd say news source in general, but I hear that Mental Mars guy is pretty dang good at that too.
Yeah. He posts little like blurbs of what we talked about on the Bordercast. He also has a ton of really relevant info all the time, like every day. Check out his super cool website. Also, he's responsible. I know it's backwards on camera right now, and I'm about to slide off my little balance board, but I'm wearing The Hunt tank top, and it's awesome.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You know what? We were talking in the pre-show, and I didn't even, my brain might have seen it, and I was going to comment on it, and then it was like, oh, right, we've got 37 other things we need to get squared away before we get live. But I mean, wow, that's a really nice tank top.
Yeah, it's super cute, and it's super comfy, actually. It's very, very comfy. Also, if I fall over, I apologize. I'm standing on a balance board, and I keep forgetting.
Oh, right, you're doing your standy desk thing.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Let's see, what have we got to bring to the people today in terms of that quick rundown in news? Well, Tales from the Borderlands, of course, is on the Nintendo Switch. You know what I've seen people screaming about lately? Speaking of the Switch real quick, the YouTube audience has been really big with this. Borderlands 3 they want on the Switch.
Oh yeah. Oh god, that would be amazing. That would be great.
Would, but I really don't know how that's possible.
I mean, anything is possible. They've proven that, kind of. I think they've put a bunch of games on there that I would not have expected to be able to be on there. So I wouldn't rule it out, but I feel like it would be really complicated and difficult because it takes... I mean, Borderlands is beautiful at low settings on a PC.
Sure.
So, and it's beautiful on other consoles. The other consoles are a lot more powerful, but... the other consoles are not like low settings on PC. They're more like medium to high, right? So maybe at low settings, I don't know. I have no idea. That'd be cool.
It just fascinates me because the way the Nintendo Switch works too. I mean, when it's docked, obviously it can produce 1080p.
Yeah.
And then when you pull it out, I think it's like 764 or something like that as well.
Yeah,
so it'll just be interesting to see, if they were ever to pull that out, how they'll balance it. But I'm skeptical. That's the only thing. I'm with the YouTube crowd. I wish. I can't see it happening if there was a Switch Pro. Even though Nintendo keeps saying that's never going to happen.
I don't really believe. Well, I don't think it'll be called the Switch Pro. This is totally speculation, which is sort of the theme of the day. But I think they would call it something else, like the Switch Diamond or the Switch Pearlescent, for lack of a better word, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they'd find they wouldn't just call it the Switch Pro. Sounds like something a different console company would come up with. Sure. I think they would find some fancy name for it, but it would basically amount to the Switch Pro. I think it's possible. I think it'd be cool.
I'm pulling for Super Nintendo Switch personally.
That would be also neat.
Well, because I'm a hack. I like things that, it's like poetry. It's like it rhymes. It's in stanzas, as one George Lucas would have said a long time ago. Whoa. This one's really cool. Borderlands 3 now available as part of the PlayStation Now package until September 29th. If you have a PlayStation 4 or 5 and a PS Now subscription, there's no reason for you to not go out there and pick up the game. Free for the entire summer and then some.
Yeah, until September 29th. That's past the start of the school year for a lot of people. That's really cool. That's really, really cool.
I thought that was really nice.
4 or 5. Yeah, that's really nice, actually.
So speaking of Mental Mars, and I have my script that I do in the mornings, and I write everything. I actually did want to give a shout out to Mental Mars, and it was just coincidental because this morning, and I had written the show previous to this morning, Mental Mars was actually kind enough to message me and brought some really cool information about the movie that he wanted us to share with everybody. He's been keeping an eye on the Instagrams of the various actors in the Borderlands movie,
nice.
Which is super cool. And clearly I need to get on that a little bit more. In general, I think I need to spend more time on Instagram. Krieg's costume requires 2 hours of makeup every time they're getting him ready. And Kroms requires 3. That's insane. Like, that is a big deal. What else do we have? There's yes, Olivia Richter is extremely excited about his outfit, and apparently he had to take a fire protection class for the movie.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
You set him on fire, I think.
Oh my god. I feel like this happens a lot on TV. I don't think we realize quite how much it happens. Yeah. But fire protection is a thing on television, I think, because there's a lot of instances of fiery shenanigans, whether it be people being set on fire or just flaming explosions. And I mean, it's a Borderlands movie, right? So I feel like fiery shenanigans and lots of explosions is kind of par for the course, right? You'd assume. I don't know how much of that is going to be CGI, but still, that's interesting.
That's so back in the 80s and the early 90s, especially in B movies, the actors who were actually, part of the project, not most of them, but some of them would actually take the stunt and be lit on fire.
Oh my god.
I think, yeah. Samurai Cop, this happened in. People are like, Samurai Cop? Yes, I know Samurai Cop. Cyclone is another one where the real actor who's acting as the bad guy gets lit on fire.
Oh my god.
And yeah, and with Samurai Cop, like, because it's such a B movie, the director was like, oh, it'll be fine. Like, as soon as we cut the scene, like, the star, Matt Harmon, he'll be like, yeah, you just put him out. Just put him out. And so, like, and you even see it in Samurai, they left it in. You can see them scrambling over to put this guy out, like, smother him with a blanket.
Oh my god, that's so dangerous. That's insane.
It's super dangerous and probably not the best. So, like, Oliver Richter having to actually take, like, a fire protection safety examination so that he can be lit on. I assume to be lit on fire, but I guess he could also be using, like, a flamethrower or something like that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. That would be cool also. That would be very, very cool. And apparently Kevin, Oliver, and Florian are all working out super, super, super hard for their roles, which makes sense because they're all very buff in the video game and in real life already. But there's there's like multiple levels of buffness apparently and we should have Liz on to talk about this also at some point because she's talked about this before, where like there's like normal person fit and television or movie actor fit, and it's like a whole different, and there's different versions. There's like you're playing a super buff character fit or this other look that you're going for, and there's like specific workouts that go into every different kind of physique that you could want, and sometimes they'll like request it or they'll send you to a specific trainer or what have you. It's so interesting and crazy. Yeah. And
I mean, in the process of just learning more about the business and things like that, I was reading about some of the best movies of all time. I think I was reading about like Terminator, and I think of like Linda Hamilton. Like Linda Hamilton trained for like 6 weeks with Green Berets and like did this diet regimen for like 6 months so she could get ripped again when she was playing in like Terminator Dark Fate, which that movie wound up in. Different story. But the point is, like, some actors, Chris Evans is another good one. When they commit, they commit. And so I know one of the big issues is people were a little worried, how serious are they really going to take a Borderlands movie? It seems based on their Instagrams, people are like, Kevin Hart is committing to this role. Like he wants to portray Roland to the best of his ability. And Roland was swole.
Yeah.
He is big in Borderlands, and 1 and 2. He's big. So if Kevin's like getting out there and working out, he's going to be a great representation for the character.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's very, very true. And I mean, there's a lot of I think it's like a big part of the industry, and sometimes it gets talked about, sometimes it doesn't. But like I've seen there's a lot of sort of gunplay training, like probably what Linda did, and definitely what like Keanu Reeves has done for all of his movies.
Oh, yeah.
He's done some really crazy. I've actually seen on YouTube the training and the insanity that he goes through. It's amazing. Like, it's amazing what they go through and how they learn to handle weapons correctly and everything, even though they're not using like real weapons. Still, it needs to look real to us, right? And yeah, it's
real to
really
me, damn it.
interesting. Yeah, so cool, so cool.
It's I mean, when they do like those, I think they do live fire exercises. I don't like in Keanu's case. I don't think those were blanks. That look, because I think I know the video you're talking about. He's got a handgun for a little bit, and then he switches to a shotgun and goes ham for a little bit too. And like he successful, like he mounts his on his shoulder and reloads real quick like that too. I was like, damn, son, holy crap.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy. Oof. Absolutely crazy with what people are capable of with all those kinds of guns. I know in Borderlands universe we have crazy guns as well as crazy people. So it'll be exciting to see what they come up with for all that.
How do you do live fire training exercises when you're using a Norfleet?
Oh God. I hope they didn't
possible?
do live fire for that. That would be kind of terrible. But maybe that's why the fire training. I don't know.
That would be if he used the pyrophobia.
Oh my God.
So he doesn't light himself on fire using it. Because apparently we're just jumping all over the timeline right now. Crom's going to use a pyrophobia somehow.
Why not?
Sure.
Why not?
What else we got in the news, Tess?
We've got crossplay. It's coming. It's coming sometime, hopefully in the relatively near future. We don't know exactly when, but soon. Hopefully soon. And Maurice's vending machine has moved once more. I have absolutely no idea where it is today. Do you, Mitsu?
No. I do not. I did not have a chance in the pre-show to know. I will direct people, of course, to Mental Mars. I will direct them to Triple G. I know Triple G put out a video. I didn't have a chance to watch it, saying that he outlined where it was. So I think that's triple_. What on YouTube is he? Gorilla Guru Gaming still?
I don't remember. I think it's also triple_G.
Okay, he managed to get it changed then.
It might be Gorilla Gaming. You know what? I will tell you right now because it's in the command. Yes, it's Gorilla Game Guru.
Okay, so Gorilla Game Guru. So
in the Twitch chat, yeah.
YouTube.com/gorilla, like the monkey. Gorilla Game Guru. GURU. Like somebody who's really knowledgeable about a thing. You can go check out his YouTube and watch a video.
Mental Mars also will have it up on his website shortly.
There you go. Yeah. And that's mentalmars.com. MENTALMARS, like the planet.com. Okay. Ooh. You wanna talk about that one real quick?
Well, we said crossplay is coming soon. Mm-hmm. Not TM because it is coming soon. We just don't have a date. We do, however, have a date for Revenge of the Cartels. We finally have a date. June 24th is the date. That's in the relatively near future, I would say. It's a little bit more than a month away. It's like a month and 4 days, or something like that. So June 24th, that's when it'll be the last week of True Trials, I believe, is when it launches. I think it's the last week of True Trials. So they're gonna overlap by 1 week, which will be really, really cool. But yeah, I'm so excited for that. Oh my God. I think the entire community is super excited for that. And it's going to be, we'll see. We don't know if it's going to be different or if it's going to be the same. They did change the name a little bit. The Revengeance of the Revenge of the Cartels. So we don't know what that means yet, but we'll find out on June 24th with you guys. And that'll be really awesome.
Yeah, we will. I can't, again, I have no idea. But I would be hard pressed to believe that they're not throwing something in there, something new that they're not talking about. Because why change the name then, right? It's the only time they've changed the name for a seasonal event.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we don't know if there'll be cross progression. We don't know exactly how crossplay will work. We don't really have any details. As soon as we have them and are able to share them, we absolutely will. But we just know it's coming. So that's what we can share. We know it's coming soon. True Trials has shifted to a new proving ground. Do we know what you can get and where?
Well, we do. But we're going to hold off on talking about that until we get to the B side of the show today.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And
then, of course,
Endgame Rush Season 2, Triple G's community event is returning soon. You can find out more details if you stay tuned to his Twitter, which is _GZ1. Okay, so follow him on Twitter. That is where you can post your progress. That's where you can find out when it starts and the rules and all the details. We'll talk about it again for sure once it actually goes live and let you guys know all of that as well here on the Bordercast. But that's happening and it's going to be really cool. We're excited.
It's going to be real good. All right. All that news is out of the way. Yes, what'd you get a chance to do in Borderlands this week?
I chilled. I did some vault cards. I've only opened one diamond chest so far. I've just been very unlucky, I think, and have not gotten any diamond keys or more than one. So, yeah, need to work on that. We'll probably be working on that this weekend. And yeah. So, I will be streaming. I'm doing a charity stream on Saturday. I probably will play some Borderlands. I think it's going to be like a combination of a variety of different games, but I'm probably going to chill with some Borderlands on Sunday right here on the Borderlands channel, or possibly on my channel. I haven't decided yet, or both. We'll see.
What is the charity event you're doing?
Extra Life. It's Extra Life with AMD. They're hosting a big sort of shenanigans weekend event this weekend and the past weekend. So I'm doing, I've done St. Jude's for the last bunch of years, and I did Extra Life, I want to say like the first couple years that I streamed, but this was 7 years ago. So it's been a while since I've done Extra Life, and they're really, really awesome also. So I was like, AMD, yay, let's do it together. I'll have giveaways. I'll play some Borderlands. I'll play some other stuff. It'll be a good time. It'll be on my channel and the AMD channel Saturday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Nice. That's really good. Extra Life is actually one that, and we're going way back to the old days now. That's one that we did too. It was a leap year, so I want to say it might have been. It wasn't 2016. It had to have been 2012. So how did that happen? Oh wait, no, it wasn't a leap year. It was 2013. It was late 2013, and it was daylight savings. So we were going to do a 24-hour stream that coincided with daylight savings. So we wound up doing an extra hour on top of that. And it was myself, Admiral Baru, Mir Ada, and Brenson. And I mean, we're going way back in the community. It was a lot of fun, but afterwards I was very, very tired.
Oh, you did 24 hours. Yeah, I'm not doing
26
24 hours.
really, but
oh,
yeah.
God, yeah. No. I have done 24-hour streams. I did 7 of them in my first year of streaming 7 years ago, which is a weird bunch of sevens. But no, never again. I'll probably do like 7 hours maybe or something. I don't know. I'll stream until I feel like I need to stop. I don't do 24-hour streams anymore because they are really unhealthy by myself. No more. My body can't handle it, but I will stream for as long as I can. It'll be a really good time. That I will promise.
24-hour streams are a young man's game. I ain't about it anymore. I wish I could be. I do miss them, but
I feel like they're good if you can get a group together to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if not everybody stays awake for the entire time and you like take turns and stuff like that, then they're fun for the community to, and like obviously the viewers don't have to stay for the whole thing. They can like leave and come back and blah blah blah. It's just like having a channel up for a long period of time and people kind of bouncing off of each other. That can work really, really well. I think an individual doing a 24-hour stream is a really bad idea. I know I did them. I don't regret doing them, but like they progressively did more and more damage to my body over that year. And after the last one, I was just like, no more.
Yeah.
No more.
It's speaking from experience. It's like we were there. We were in the trenches. Just that's the advice to any up and coming streamer. Just be aware of what you're getting into. Stay hydrated, and ideally do it for a good cause.
If you're gonna do it, do it for a good cause. Yeah. Well, just do it with help. Like, don't do it by yourself. Have a friend join you so you can, each do 12 or something, or have multiple friends join you. Better yet. So. More is not necessarily better. Quantity over quality is not a real thing in streaming. It's actually really much more about the quality of your content than it is about the quantity of your content, as long as it's consistent in general, in my opinion. So
it's true. I mean, there's a lot that goes into how one would break into the business. So, but that's for a different show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
What about you? What have you been up to in Borderlands?
So good old King Cathalion sent me a DM the other day And I was like, hey, buddy, do you want to do more Borderlands 1? Of course, I had to say yes, because I did, in fact, want to do more Borderlands 1.
Of course.
So we continued progressing our game. We went to New Haven, so I got to see Helena Pierce for a little while. Nice. We rescued some claptraps. I missed that. I thoroughly enjoyed going around and having to get the repair kits so that you could get the backpack upgrades for your SDU by giving it to them, because you didn't buy them back in the day. That was only created in 2 and 3. Yeah. Okay, you actually had to get these repair kits and then find a claptrap that was like whining about how he felt like he was going to die and give it to the claptrap.
Yeah, I remember that also, actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which I mean, that was pretty cool on some level. I enjoyed that it was a little bit more interactive, if you will. And we messed around, went some places, Caustic Cavern kind of situate, not Caustic Caverns itself, but there back in Borderlands 1, there were artifacts, but artifacts were very different, and they augmented your action skill with an element. And there were 2 of these where you would get a shock one, which is the first one and probably the most famous one.
Okay.
But you grind that one out so you can get experience, so you can kind of stay on level. Because if you just try and push through, it's not going to work for you. And then there's another one later on that is for a corrosive artifact element. And then that's it. They didn't do one for fire for some reason. I don't know why. But they can drop. They can just be random drops. But it's a good way to teach people about that. But they're hard, especially if they're on level, because you're not usually prepared. And in Borderlands 1, like in 2 and 3, when a skag shows up, we're like, oh, look at the cute dog. Pop, dead. All right, cool. In Borderlands 1, unless you shot it in the mouth, one of the things about skags, or you had explosive weapons or corrosive weapons, it had a hide. It had a very thick hide that you could not shoot through. So you would shoot it and it would take like 3 damage.
Oh, God.
And you're like, wow, this was a waste of my time. That's why Skagzilla in Borderlands 1 was so scary.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Skagzilla?
Yeah, that was insane. I do remember that. I've only played it the one time, but that was insane. I need to replay Borderlands 1, which I'm going to do with Triple G and possibly, more friends at some point, but I don't know when we'll do that. We'll do it soon.
Somebody in chat saying, IB Brett says, the Pearl Chimera revolver solved that issue for me. Yes, the Chimera solved a lot of issues in Borderlands 1, but you weren't going to have a Chimera when you started playing the game.
Yeah.
When you started playing the game, everything was super scary. Yeah. Which is good. I like that, though. I like that feeling of like helplessness in the beginning and just working your way up as you go.
It makes the power, like the power increase that you get, feel more rewarding because of it, right? Because you earn it on the way up, which is really cool.
Yeah. And so besides that, for the first time in 2 months, I think, I was actually live on my personal channel. Apologies to those of you who were hoping it was going to be sooner, but it happened. And I got to just hang out and work on my vault card, which was a lot of fun. People were enjoying that. We did some arms race because it's been a little bit since I've actually had some time to sit down and do arms race. I got this gun. Do you remember, and this kind of segues into something we're going to be talking about a little bit later in the program. Do you remember there was a new rocket launcher that Lazy used that basically like one-shot phased? Who was it? Hemovorus.
Yeah.
It was like one shot, half health, one shot, no health, oh no, it was Psycho Reaver. That's who it was.
Yeah.
It was one shot, done. Right?
Yeah.
I got 2 of them in 1 kill.
Oh my God. Nice.
And I am not lazy. So I don't know how to use it properly. I tried to do the same thing and it did not work.
Lazy is superhuman. He really is. I don't know how he does the things he does. They're very impressive. But yeah. We have one of those things to show you guys. Should we skip ahead to that briefly?
We can do it in a second.
Okay.
I was gonna take a few seconds to just thank because it was so nice to come back and everybody came in. Psychotic Wolf was there. Birdman showed up. Moxie showed up with a raid and a host. Lay Giblets, Big Bullseye, Jolts Dude, KRT Prime, Broken English, and of course my wife Brofish all showed me the love. And for somebody who hasn't been around on the platform in that way in 2 months, I just wanted to say thank you for doing that and making me still feel very much like a part of the Twitch Borderlands community.
Of course.
So it was just felt nice, you know. I guess I got to do it more, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good to take breaks sometimes. Sometimes we need it, but it's always like there's the Borderlands directory is definitely a family in a lot of ways, and I love that people are there for each other that way. It's really cool.
And so many people came in and said hi and were very receptive, and we had lots of great conversations, some of which we're going to actually have a little bit later in the program. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We should show the people what Lazy is capable of once again, shouldn't we?
Yes, we should. Give me 1 second.
Get the tape, Johnny. Oh, Johnny's not here.
Not sure what I'm seeing here. Oh my God.
So yeah. so the visual for those of you who are listening on the podcast services is Lazy is doing the Maliwan takedown, and he's standing at the top of the shaft where you jump down to go fight the Valkyries. I don't know how he did it because he's a crazy pants person.
Yeah.
Lazy throws down 2 corrosive grenades. Throws them just down the shaft. And then jumps down. The Valkyries are up. The Valkyries are down.
That's insane.
Think it's unreal. And then afterwards he goes, "How do you like that one, Mitsu?" And I'm like, "Oh, he knew I was gonna like that."
Yeah, I played that part on stream. It's good. It's very, very good.
So good.
It's crazy. I'm putting the link to the tweet of his into chat just in case anybody wants to check it out or share it around, because that is insanity. I don't know how he does these things.
Neither do I. Graham was none too pleased about it. Not like actually angry. He just had a very like, I can't believe I just witnessed this kind of face in a GIF react. He was just like, really? Like, really? Come on, dude. I was like, oh, poor Graham.
I love it. Oh God.
There's been a debate raging for a little while now that grenades are perhaps a little too strong, and this is obviously like the extreme end of that conversation, but I think it does perhaps reinforce the fact that maybe grenades might need to be toned down a little bit, which confuses the heck out of me because every time I use grenades, it doesn't do nothing.
Well, I think it depends on the grenade, and it depends on apparently how you throw them.
That's true.
So
it's very, very true.
Yeah, that is insane. That's insane. That's going to make Endgame Rush feel a little different. Hit a little different, I think, if you can pull that off.
Yeah.
It's the gun, not the grenade.
Somebody's suggesting probably modded grenades. No. Lazy does not mod things.
Nope.
That's I've known I'll stake my reputation on this one. I've known Lazy for the better part of 6-7 years now. If he was going to mod, he would admit to modding it. They're not modded. He's just that crazy. He's just that good.
Oh, so it's a very specific setup with a grenade and a specific gun that did that. Okay. Not modded.
That is near impossible to find legit. Yes. But knowing Lazy, he has done the near impossible. So I would not be surprised.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. Lazy man.
That's really all you can say about it, right?
Yeah.
Well, so moving onward, True Trials.
Yeah.
The mini event going on moved, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It is now located in the Splinterlands on Pandora, and you can win base game legendary, the sickle, and an add-on legendary. I'm sorry, not one you will get if you complete it. The sickle and the add-on legendary, the Skull Masher, which comes from Guns, Love, and Tentacles, the marriage of Wainwright and Hammerlock, which is so cool. Super cool.
I'm thoroughly enjoying this event from a an observer perspective, because I don't see myself ever being in a category of person like you try, but sometimes it's hard to be able to do some of the things. I think the math was out last week for what last week's boss was. The Skag had 4 billion, so the B, billion health, which is a lot for Borderlands 3. I know somebody in the comments on YouTube's like, actually, Mitsu, what you need to understand is Dex Duos had 7.3 billion, trillion, with a T on that one, health in Borderlands 2. Yes, I know. But for Borderlands 3, because the scaling and the math is a little bit different, billion with a B is still a ridiculous amount of health. And so I really like seeing people go to that level in this game because it's far more balanced and make that work. Because that's for comparison's sake, I think Sponge Boss, because most of you are probably familiar by now with Psycho Krieg and the fantastic Fustercluck every time. Psycho Krieg and the fantastic Fusterclucks, Sponge Boss. Sponge Boss is estimated to have about 2 billion HP for comparison.
Yeah.
This is double that.
It's so good. I didn't do it this past week, so I'm definitely going to do the one. I'll probably do it during my charity stream on Saturday or Sunday, chilling with Borderlands. I haven't decided yet what the incentives will be, which is why I'm like not quite sure, but it'll be a good time either way, and there'll definitely be some Borderlands this weekend.
Nice. The guns that you can get too, the sickle's not, I wouldn't say it's a meta gun, but I wouldn't turn my nose up at it either, because it's got an interesting bullet projection pattern. It literally looks like a sickle, which is pretty cool. And it's fairly strong, especially if you can get all those bullets to land in somebody's face. It feels a little bit more like an automatic shotgun kind of in the way that it actually works.
Yeah, it's apparently good to use with Zane clones. That makes sense. I feel like I've found this gun, but I've never actually used this gun, so I don't remember what it feels like.
Really? You've never used a sickle?
I don't think so. I think I've definitely found it before, but I don't think I've ever actually tried using it. I'm so addicted to my like set of guns that
Submachine guns.
Yeah.
Sorry. and the sick no, nothing wrong with that. Everybody has a preference. We don't judge here. Assault rifles really haven't. I think in the time that I've known you so far, I don't think you've really ever talked about any assault rifles.
Maybe
I think the Dictator and the Monarch, but that was it.
Yeah, like so assault rifles are like the backup for me. Like if I can't hit the thing with the SMG because it's too far away, more often than not I'll use a pistol that's like an SMG. But sometimes I'll use an AR as an alternative because they're still great. Yeah, Star Helix is a really good one. That's one that I've used a lot actually. Yeah. Star
Helix got buffed, I want to say like 5 or 6 months ago too.
Did it? I mean, I feel like it was always really strong, but I used it in that myself and Tweety Expert, who also obviously is on the stream team and plays Borderlands a lot, and Depriesticles, who also is on the stream team and plays Borderlands a lot and is awesome. We were doing a one life run together. I cannot speak English today. And we made sure to get Star Helixes like every probably 10 to 15 levels or so, and it carried us through that. Like it decimated everything on our one life runs. So that was really, really fun. Actually, it's a good weapon. I like it.
Really good one. And in the same vein of really good weapons, the Skull Masher being available a little bit more easy. I say easily, but you still have to go through the entire true, not takedown, but the true trial, if you will.
Yeah. It's still really tough.
Not easy. But Skull Masher is a very strong weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't play around as much with sniper rifles. The only sniper rifle I guess there's two. I really enjoy the Krakatoa, and I really enjoy the Sandhawk, which I had to think about for a second because I'm still adjusting to the fact that the Sandhawk is a sniper rifle now and not a submachine gun.
The complex route is really good, but it's also just kind of ridiculous. I'm not a big sniper person because I really like high rate of fire weapons. SMGs. So like a sniper rifle is like the opposite of that. The Krakatoa is definitely good. I like the Sandhawk, but the way to get the Sandhawk is not my favorite thing. So I don't really use it. I don't end up using it because I only had like one or two of them. I fought the good fight a few times, got a couple of them, and was like, this is cool, but it's not worth me like suffering to fight through that again and again and again. There are other good guns. But yeah, the new that's pretty good. Also, I'm just not a sniper girl. I don't know what it is.
It's just not. I see in Borderlands. I don't feel like Borderlands is a game that's conducive to sniping, and I'm sure there will be people, Garwood, who could pull it off because they're just that good and that accurate. But Borderlands has a very fast and frenetic pace. And when I think of sniping, right, I want to take a Skullmaster, for example, and I want to shoot somebody directly in their face. Because that's what you want to do as a sniper rifle. You want to hit that critical spot and feel that satisfying like rush of, all right, here's the high damage, the high risk. Boom, headshot, done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not easy to do consistently in Borderlands because you're trying to hit big guys, small guys. You're trying to hit skags where's their crit spot? The mouth, but they got to open the mouth. Open the mouth. So like you've got all of these different variations and you have to put all of that together and actually nail those shots. It's not easy.
Yeah.
And I feel bad when I miss a shot as a sniper. Yeah. Like I feel really, because that's the whole point. The whole point is to do that. And then it's missed and it's like, all right, well now it's a lever action sniper rifle, for example, because it's high damage, but low rate of fire.
Yeah.
All right, now I gotta wait. Okay, now I've got to reset up my shot. All right. Did I lead the target correctly? Okay. Now I'm gonna do it. Oh, I missed again.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it is. It's tough and it's just like it's so fast paced. You're absolutely right. It's so fast paced. And I always feel like I'm better moving. I'm more survivable when I'm moving in any video game, but especially Borderlands. And it's hard to move and shoot a sniper at the same time. It's not hard to move and shoot an SMG at the same time.
There's right. And so there's so many. It's so hard for you to just stand somewhere in Borderlands and shoot at somebody too. You're right.
Yeah.
You move or die.
Yeah.
Zane's literally lives by move or die.
Yeah.
Because you get the damage bonus for moving. And so it's very difficult for you to like set up in a position. Enemies are constantly moving too. Like they'll take cover, but then they'll pop their heads out and then like go this way. And this isn't like 2006 or 2003 where enemies have one movement pattern for everything that they do, where you can just like, all right, I know exactly where you're gonna go, but all right, I shot him in the head. Okay, next. Enemies will poke their head out to the left. They'll poke their head out to the right. They'll jump straight up and then run immediately, or they'll move backwards as they're looking at you. There's so many different ways that an enemy can actually move, which is great, which is really good because it's more realistic and more challenging. But in a game like Borderlands, it also makes it much, much harder. And then ultimately, like somebody mentioned the Lyuda before, the Krakatoa to a certain extent gets away with this. So does the Sandhawk, which is why I like them. They're rapid fire sniper rifles, so the damage is a little bit lower, but you can hit somebody from a further distance.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of people that can use snipers effectively, especially if you hip fire them. Like one of the cool things about Borderlands 3 is not all guns are better at hip firing or as good when you hip fire them, but a lot of the guns are just as good if you hip fire. And so like if you're good at that, if you're good at hip firing and just being really stable for a second and then moving on, like Lazy and a few others, then you'll have no problem, right? But if you're me or Mitsu, we might not be that OP. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I try. It's like some days, you know what it is? It's like playing golf. If you're not a professional golf player, right? Yeah. When you go out with your buds and you play golf, everybody's just having a good time and you're like whacking the ball. And sometimes you nail a really, really ridiculously good shot and everybody loses their mind. But most of the time, you kind of garbage. but you play it for that one shot. That's what it's like to be a sniper in Borderlands 3.
That's kind of me in all video games. I'm mostly really bad, but then I have moments of glory. That's basically
moments
how
of glory.
Works.
That's a good way of putting it. Moments of glory.
I mean, that's just like my video gamer life. Mostly terrible, but moments of glory.
I'm on
and
the
a lot
edge.
of fun.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get DMCA'd. I can't sing that anymore.
No.
You get like 1 second of Lady Gaga and that's it.
No. Yeah.
I immediately realized where I was.
yeah.
Whoops.
Don't get us in trouble.
No, I prefer not to.
Well, aside from all that cool news and Lazy showing off his badassery, we have some news. Maybe we have something. We don't really know what this means.
Something is a good way of putting it.
Something is afoot.
You want to unleash the beast, if you will, on the people?
So there was an article in Video Games Chronicle that was tweeted, and we retweeted it, some of us, and Mitsu talked about it on his stream, so we're going to talk about it here, of course. This is a highly speculative segment of the show because we really have no idea what this is about, but they said some things that, like, perked up our ears, so to speak, or our eyes. So we're going to go ahead and read it for you. Let me make sure I have the right thing open. So Take-Two has announced plans to launch a new franchise from Borderlands developer Gearbox Software during the publisher's current fiscal year ending in March 31st, 2022, which is insane. How is it already almost 2022?
Don't think about it too hard. Your head will explode.
Yeah, basically. The company said on Tuesday that it intends to release 21 games during its current fiscal year, including 4 immersive core games, 2 from proven franchises and 2 from new ones, according to CEO Strauss Zelnick. Gearbox's new game, which was mentioned during the publisher's full year earnings call, presumably fits into the immersive core category. Take-Two president Karl Slatoff said this category consists of titles offering highly engaging gameplay, products such as Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, and Borderlands, plus the company's strategy games and sports simulations. 2K will also introduce 2 releases from new franchises this year, including one from Gearbox, Slatoff confirmed. Very, very, very cool.
Yes. So there's a lot going on here. Earnings calls, for those of you who don't know, are a really good way to start building the hype and anticipation for certain things. But this one it wasn't really specific, right? And so I've, in show prep for everything, I started perusing a whole bunch of articles because I wanted to know more. And all I could find out was like, everybody is trying to speculate what specifically this could possibly mean. And knowing Gearbox, it could literally mean anything, because as long as I've been a fan of them, they always want to try new things, right? Like I think of Battleborn, rest in peace. God, I miss Battleborn. Yeah. And I think of how they're trying to do things with Homeworld and these other series of games. They're trying to build them up. And they've hinted in the past about a few other things. So when this article, this first one broke, I was live on my channel, and of course I read it out because of course. And somebody brought up this one, which I was amused by, because I'm wondering about this one too. Gearbox talked about having an idea for a 1v1 PvP game, and they haven't mentioned it in a long time. So it's a little interesting to me that it just kind of like isn't there.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering about that too, because this is too open-ended, right?
It could mean anything. We have no idea.
And so that's kind of why Tess and I, we talked about this. We wanted to bring this article to all of you, the people. And see, did it 2 weeks in a row with Bane now. And have all of you theorize along with us what this could possibly be. Because, what is it? During this, Take-Two called Borderlands 3 2K's fastest selling title in its full year earnings presentation. The game has shipped some 13 million units since its release in September 2019. 13 million units is a lot for... It doesn't sound like a lot when you think that there's 7 billion people on the earth, but for a video game to move over... Usually video games, a AAA will move somewhere between, 1 to 5 million. When you're hitting 10, you're hitting like double diamond status, and anything over that is like icing on the cake. So we talked at varying lengths about how successful and memorable Borderlands 3 was. Some people say, okay, these things aren't really that good. Some people say this isn't so good. It was an extremely successful game. You can't deny it. And Randy goes out there and tweets about the big one, which is what he referred to 3. But here's the thing. They said new franchise. Launch a new franchise.
Yeah.
What is a new franchise?
That could mean anything.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'm very, very excited. I honestly, like, my brain kind of was like, I don't know what this means. I'm really, really, really psyched and I want to know more, but I just can't, I can't wrap my head around what it could be. So I hesitate to even speculate, but whatever it is, it's going to be awesome because it's from Gearbox and I love Gearbox. Gearbox makes Borderlands, which is literally my favorite game ever in the world. So whatever it is, it's going to be a good time and we're going to play the heck out of it. Right.
I suppose that's a MDT Money bringing this up in chat right now. I suppose it's a good way to open the conversation. How does one define a new franchise? What does that mean? Well, in my opinion, what constitutes a new franchise would be something like Battleborn, where you have an entirely new idea, a completely new concept that you want to try and flesh out, and you throw it out there and see if it sticks. And if it doesn't stick, then unfortunately what happened with Battleborn happened. But it's always important to try new things and see what's going on.
Yeah, Battleborn was so innovative. Like, there were so many things that they got right with it. I loved that game. There were a couple of things about it that I didn't like, but overall, it was just such a good time. And I hope, like, even with Borderlands 3, I feel like they kept the core and the soul of what was Borderlands before Borderlands 3, right? With all the previous games. They absolutely kept that in Borderlands 3, but they also took some chances with things like the takedowns and arms race and various other things, right? And so, like, Gearbox continues to innovate. So I'm super excited for them to take everything that they've learned for the last however many years and to innovate some more with a whole new world, a whole new franchise. That would be incredible. So I don't know, whatever it is, I'm psyched.
Oh my god, I just figured it out. I know what it is. Do you remember my idea for Typhon de Leon?
The whip game?
The whip game. What if it's the whip game? What if it's happening?
That would be cool. But then you'd have to know about it because they would have asked you to voice it, right?
Oh yeah, I guess that's kind of true.
Right?
Right? Because I'll do a younger Typhon de Leon.
That would
which
be
sounds exactly
so
the same as old
cool.
Typhon de Leon.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't...
Battleborn would still have a player base if it had community servers. Maybe. I mean,
Maybe.
I feel like that game was so good. I wish that a couple of things were different about it. I hope that someday it comes back in like another form, you know? It can't be a new Battleborn because they said new franchise. So it can't be like Battleborn 2 or something like that. But whatever it is, I'm excited.
For those of you who don't know what my my whip game idea was that Tess was just talking about just now, I had an idea. I'll be very brief about this one because I could talk about it all day. I had an idea where to explain more about the backstory of Typhon de Leon, which I think we were criminally robbed of in Borderlands 3. You would do a prequel game, but instead of it being a first-person shooter or even a third-person shooter, you have it be a platforming game where Typhon uses his whip as an offensive weapon, and then also he uses it for his platforming elements, and that's the game. And then the setup would be it's him talking about being in his prime and telling all of these stories to a very young Troy and Tyrene, which links up to how they knew about all the vaults in the first place, right?
So
it explains the story.
It would be really, really cool, and I want this game to happen because I think it would be fun. However, that's not a new franchise. That's still in. I mean, it would be different gameplay wise, but I feel like it's still very much Borderlands, right? So,
I guess well, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong in terms of it being not, I guess, a new franchise, but that goes back to what we were talking about at the top of the conversation, where what constitutes a new franchise, right?
I feel like it's a whole new world, right? Like a whole new universe,
Fantastic
a whole new
point
story.
of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, today is just the Disney day, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There's so many good franchises out there, but I feel like Battleborn was a distinct franchise. Borderlands is a distinct franchise, right? And they're like it I mean, I don't know. They're different. They're very, very different. But they're both awesome. So
I'm wondering, okay, so this comes out now, right? We have until they said they were going to do something between now and March 31st, 2022. We've got a lot of time in between now and then. And
I guess it feels like time goes by really, really quickly, actually. So.
As soon as you stop looking at the calendar, boy, it sure does.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, like, next month is Jeff Cello, as Goth and I like to call it, which is it's now called the Summer Games Fest, which is pretty cool. And if you look at the image that Jeff released the other day, I mean, 2K and Gearbox are actually featured on that list. 2K is like featured number 1. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah.
Like in the upper left-hand corner.
So
That's
cool.
a pretty prominent spot to be in.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then of course E3 is also happening.
Yeah.
But I never really expect any big Gearbox news out of E3. My personal belief has always been that if we were ever going to get big time Borderlands news about anything, it would be in a PAX related setting. There's been this special relationship that Randy likes to tout, and I'm going back like 7-8 years, because the original Borderlands was actually announced at a PAX. So he feels this kinship with them, or at least that's what he said at that time when he was on a stage at PAX. So it always felt like if there was going to be more information about anything related to Borderlands, it was going to be at that time.
Well, Borderlands 3 was actually announced at the LA event, though. Like the actual reveal was at the LA event. So they did have a PAX event, but again, this is a whole new thing, they said. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I just want to know more. Like, can we please have more information? I want whatever it is. See, now I feel like March is too far away. It needs to be here sooner. Whatever it is, I want to know more now.
We've got plenty of time in between, and I'm just wondering where the next shoe will drop in this conversation.
Yeah,
because no article seems to allude to anything, and we've got so much coming up in the next month that my head actually might spin. I think, what is it, the Mav show told me that it would be a good idea for me to put Summer Game Festival on my world famous
I
E3
saw that.
report card.
Very cool.
So I think I'm gonna have to do that too.
Yeah.
And before anybody accuses me of this, yes, anything pertaining to Borderlands, if anything comes out pertaining to Borderlands, I will grade fairly. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. Don't think just because I'm on this channel, I'm just going to give it high marks because I'm super excited and that's what I'm supposed to do. If it's good, it's good. If it isn't, it isn't. I'm going to tell it like it is. So, you're on notice, Gearbox. You're on the clock. Impress me. Let's go.
Whatever it is, I'm super excited. I've never had a bad experience playing a Gearbox game. Like, that literally has never happened. Every single experience that I've had playing Gearbox games with Battleborn, with Borderlands, with all of the games that I've played in the Borderlands franchise, and Battleborn, like I said, has been amazing. So whatever it is, it's going to be fun. Like, there's zero question. So I just want to know more.
Tap.
What?
I liked Battleborn Tap.
Yeah,
you remember that? There was a mobile game.
Yeah. God. Okay, so new franchise is crazy. It's totally crazy to me because it's like a whole new thing, right? Part of me is like, I wish they would like bring out another Battleborn game at some point. That's like, whatever lessons they learned from the first one, like tweak some things and change some stuffs, and then throw it at us. We'll play it. But yeah, whatever it is, I'm very, very excited to learn more. Hopefully we learn more sooner rather than later. PAX is still very far away. Who knows?
Yeah, it got moved this year. I think it's happening, if it does happen, in October.
Yeah.
That feels like an eternity. But as you said before, it flies by very quickly when you're not paying attention.
It does. But of course, now we're going to be paying attention because we want to know more. So
this is why I took my watch off, which you can, there's like for the visual there's a tan line there where you can literally see where my watch is. Oh God, I spent so much time outside lately.
Mitsu, are you even a gamer anymore? You spend all your time outside.
Well,
Switch.
That's exactly what I've been doing too.
Right.
Oh.
So yeah, so stay tuned. When we hear more, we will share it with you guys. Whatever this is, we're super excited to learn more about it as soon as we do, and we'll pass it along to you guys. So I'm just excited. I know it's just like the tiniest little niblet that there is a cool new thing coming, but I just want to know more, please.
You too. It's very vague, but it seems to indicate that something big is coming.
Yeah.
I just want to know what it is.
Super excited.
I think we all are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for Bordercast, and thank you so much for speculating with us a little bit. Maybe we'll hear more. I don't know when we'll hear more, but whenever we do, we'll speculate some more with you guys, of course. Season Pass 2 for Borderlands is out right now. The director's cut is here. We're enjoying playing it. We're loving the True Trials events that are going on. The revengeance of the cartels is coming June 24th. Revenge of the Cartels. I'm so excited for whatever changes happen with that, if any. I feel like there have to be, but we'll see. That begins June 24th, like I said. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for chilling. Thank you for listening. If you are listening on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, YouTube Music, and Stitcher, thank you for watching on YouTube and Facebook and Steam. You guys are all awesome. Make sure you like and follow, and come back next week, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. I have gotten my days confused. My brain is too excited, and it is oozing out of my ears. I'm sorry.
That'll happen.
Yeah. So, Mitsu, where can they find you on the internet?
If for some reason you like the premise of the legendary E3 report card, now with an addendum for Summer Games Festival, or Jeff Cella, as we like to call it, Twitter.com/Mitsu Show, MITSUSHOW. I have received so much attention and love and excitement for the report card every year from people in the industry who I didn't even know paid attention to it. I only found out years later that we love your hot takes every year. I was like, okay, cool, thanks. That makes me feel good about doing this. I was just doing it for shits and giggles, which is why I do everything anyway. And all the people who enjoy real takes, real honest takes on everything, which I love doing it. It's my pride and joy. Twitter.com/Mitsu Show, MITSUSHOW. And if you want to see me do it live, because I should be able to do it live this year, barring something absolutely crazy happening, twitch.tv/Mitsu, MITSU, where you can find me live. I'm not going to promise, but I will say I'm going to make concerted, wholehearted efforts to be live more than once every 2 months.
That would be.
Yes, that's where I'm going to say it. And I really enjoyed being back. everybody made me feel welcome, and I can't thank everybody enough for that. Enough being mushy. Tess, where can I find you?
Right here on the Borderlands channel, and also on my Twitch at Tessa CHKA Tessachka, and Twitter and Instagram at Tess Games. So I mostly stream on weekends on my channel. I also do tabletop RPG shows. So I stream live on Table Story, which is a Twitch channel, on Fridays starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, and on The Wandering Inn on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Right now we're doing a vampire tabletop RPG show based in the VTM universe on The Wandering Inn on Mondays, and we're doing D&D Rime of the Frost Maiden on Table Story. So that's Fridays at 5, like I said, p.m. Eastern. And like I said, on my channel this weekend, we're doing a big charity stream. It'll be on my channel and the AMD channel. AMD super awesomely gave me a whole bunch of game codes to give away, so that'll be really cool. And yeah, I'm excited. It'll be good. And Borderlands, I'll probably be streaming on the Borderlands channel on Sunday, and possibly doing some Borderlands, very likely doing some Borderlands, because I am addicted to it, on Saturday during the charity stream. Yeah.
You just reminded me of something, and I'm just going to put this out here in the ether because I have no frame of reference for it. You notice I'm kind of hoping that we get to hear some more information soon about the tabletop RPG that
Bunkers and
Gearbox
Badasses.
and Nerdvana Games was working on.
Yeah.
Because they sent out an email about 2 months ago apologizing because there were supply chain interruptions. Obviously, it's COVID times, so that is going to happen. But this is just me putting it out there because it just happened to be in the back of my mind for a little while. I'm just wondering what's up with that. So
Yeah,
we get some information about that soon.
The second I get my hands on that, I really want to either be part of a show or do a show or something like that on this channel, or just in the Borderlands family, or both. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I love our awesome universe of the Borderlands. So getting to play a D&D game, or D&D style tabletop RPG game, doing a show on Twitch around that would be super cool, being a part of one. So we'll see. I want to get my hands on it, and I want to give it to all of my cool, brilliant DM friends, because they're really good at what they do. And yeah, I just want to see what they do with it. It'll be fun.
If you do one, can I I probably won't have the time to be a character, like an actual character, but can I drop in every couple weeks and just do a voice for an hour and just hang out and just be this wacky person?
Of course. We'll probably do one shots at least some of the time. I don't know. I'm not planning on doing a long form show myself yet, because I've never DM'd anything, so I don't know what I'm doing. So if I was gonna DM, it would definitely be a one shot. But who knows? We'll see what happens. There's so many possibilities. I know that I love doing tabletop shows on Twitch. It's been really awesome to get to do the two that I'm in right now. So I'm really excited to get to do something like that, whether I'm the one that hosts it or somebody else does, in the Borderlands universe, right? So that'll be really cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right, with that small little addendum out there now, I feel like I can finally say this on behalf of Tess, myself, and the entire content creation team. Thank you so much for joining us as you every single week. Now go forth and make some mayhem.